Hey Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Minecraft Steve. Somehow I just activated GeForce Experience, which is something I never ever wanted to do, and I never ever wanted to happen again, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn that off. Alt-Z, how do I, go away. GeForce Experience? Nobody asked. Anyway, point of the matter being, we have been making our way towards Leonardo DiCaprio for a very long time, and we're about to get him, and we do have the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, which means we can use him twice, so we will be getting 6 culture per industrial zone, which eliminates the need to build theater squares in this game in order to build up our culture. Now, we do have a couple of spare trade route slots, and so I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a trader. It is now raining in Ireland, so you might hear the pitter-patter of rain hitting my house in the background, which is totally fine. I'll probably be going for an entertainment complex somewhere nearby. I'll grab myself a bank in here. It's a relatively good building. It's a 13 gold building, and that will actually improve. Well, no, actually it won't improve because I've already built up my relationships with these city-states, but 13 gold per turn is a very respectable amount of gold. I'm also now champion city. The city won't have any trouble growing, so I'll go for the blast furnace. Then I'll go for the bank. In Desert Temple, we will go for the blast furnace as well, although we could probably make use of a builder in here, and it's probably the same is true in many of my cities where builders could be very useful. Now, in the city of Akkad that we just recently conquered, we are going to be going for the primary power haste, then the watermill. We have, in fact, a need to place an aqueduct, so we'll get that locked in. We also would like to get a builder onto that tile there, and just for the sake of making my life simpler, I will buy a builder to march that tile to do the chop. I'll move Magnus to Akkad, and hopefully I'll have the patience to do the chopping later. So the city of Akkad, I would like to place that industrial zone, but I'm going to delay it slightly. I'll go for the power haste instead. Then again, it could be fun to play around with the power jump. Let's do power jump. I don't know, it just seems kind of funny to me to be able to jump my units around. We don't need the power haste, let's be real. But I do need that second half of my monument. Lawrence has been completed. It looks like we did manage to get our spy over here. I will be building another spy once we finish diplomatic service. That's excellent. This spy, your job will be, and this is using the better espionage mod, will be to look for money. So 424, 840... looks like 840 is the best cash flow that we can get, so we'll go ahead and spy in Dumfries, I believe it is, and we shall keep on moving our builders around to improve our territory. Diplomatic service is here, so we can construct another spy. I'm going to come immediately to my capital and get that spy. I would like to build the chancery. I could purchase it for gold. Can I sell some stuff for a little bit of upfront gold? Perhaps somebody would like to buy my iron or my horses. No luxuries for the purchase, so I'll just have to wait a turn before I can buy the chancery. That's fine. Not the end of the world. Let's immediately now head towards civil engineering. We want that governor title plus the better production towards builder card and a few other things that come along here. Mostly the governor title so that we can start to advance along the culture tree. I could turn you into a muskman. It's not necessary, so you'll just fortify in place. There's not really a whole lot of tiles that we can improve, but we will do this. We're waiting for Magnus to be established in that city. I will pop down a couple of mines in the city of Champion City. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful place. I guess the city of Akkad could use a trader. I don't remember if we have put a trader in there, and we may as well keep moving our builders around to continue to build those mines because the productivity is key to everything. It looks like a huge dust storm rolled through my territory over here, so we'll have to do a little bit of repairing and a little bit of rebuilding. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. We have finished the aqueduct over here in this city. We will be going for the blast furnace, and then we'll grab ourselves the commercial hub. We want to get that production and gold flowing. You right here, you're going to go ahead and build us a mine. Thank you very much. And you're waiting for Magnus to establish before you do your giga chomps. A trader to the capital for food for production. Very nice. That's going to help Akkad reach its potential. And honestly, my empire is starting to reach its potential. We did just get the first technology for a new era, which is +1 era score. Very fun. With scientific theory. Now I'm wondering, where could I build the Oxford University? So let's have a look around my empire. Potential Oxford University places. There is a 18 turn build over here. 18 turns looks like it might be my best bet. So I'll go for the 18 turn Oxford University over here in Champion City. This will give me a 20% science boost in the city and 2 free technologies. Now what I'm going to do is go backfill through the tech tree to research all the cheap techs to make sure we don't waste that boost on an expensive technology. Then we'll go for industrialization. Now we are going to go ahead and claim Charles Darwin. Now actually let's have a little bit of a think about that. If we go to the overview and we check the great scientists, Charles Darwin is here. Would I rather get someone else? Would I rather Dmitry Mendeleev? Would I rather Charles Darwin? Or would I rather in James Young? Honestly, I think this is totally fine. I think we'll take Charles Darwin. It's a totally reasonable, great person to take. I will recruit him, and then the rest of those guys will trigger, and then we'll be able to have a look and see if we can get Albert Einsteinio. Now, Charles, you are looking for a natural wonder tile, and there is a good one over here. We could get 1,000 signs from that. We get 1,000 signs from there. We could get 500 signs from over there. Yeah, so why don't you head down this General Direction. Now, amphitheater has been completed over here in Boomtown. This is a coastal city. It's not going to need more food. We will go for the blast furnace for the 8 production. That seems totally reasonable. We're still waiting for Magnus to establish in the city. Let us send the spy to the city. We already have someone going to Dumfries. Let's see, 700 gold from Edinburgh. We'll send them to Edinburgh instead. That's all the spies taken care of. I guess we don't need to buy the Chancery if we can build it. That'll give us another 3 influence per turn, which is a very nice amount of influence. Crown Mesa has finished a builder. I don't remember why I was building a builder, but hey. But hey. But who. But how. Badoo. So we need to start thinking about what other districts we could do. We could do a pretty tasty campus in here. There's a +2 there. That would be a +3. Yeah, let's do the +2. Right there. That seems good to me. I reckon we can keep trading with Beacon Town. Do I want cash right now? I may start centralizing my trade routes into Beacon Town now to go externally, because all of my cities have hit the population milestone that I wanted them to. So it doesn't seem necessary for me to keep things on the go. I'm going to use gold to grab the last of these Petra hills. Boom, 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 boom. And we should be able to improve them pretty easily. Nice, we have built the Power Jump Boost 1, which is a unique building, give us +4 air escort. Now I'm curious, so you have the jump ability now. Now, out of curiosity, does that mean you have to be in the city to jump, or can you jump? Wow, you can just jump. That's so cool. That is such a cool game mechanic, I love it. Let's grab the watermill. Then we are gonna go ahead and put a campus right here. That's a +3 campus. Lock that in, and then once the city grows, we'll go for the industrial zone. I guess what we can do is we can chop to finish the lumber mill and then overflow that into a harbour, and then chop to finish the harbour and overflow that into a lighthouse, and then I guess we can chop to finish the campus and and then overflow that into a lighthouse. So that felt like a very good sequence of moves. We're going to go ahead and get Leonardo DiCaprio and pop him into here. That's going to be 3 culture per city with a workshop, and we're going to be able to use him twice thanks to the fact that we have the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, which is a really nice combination. We are going to start trading internationally, and we're going to be looking to make friends with people, so we may as well start that process. 1, 2, 3. You're not quite in range, that's okay. Charles Darwin, you know, I'm going to have a hard time getting you anywhere useful. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you to pop your ability right here, finish the castle's technology. It's fine. You don't need to go all the way to the Jiangxi, Dangsha, whatever it's called. We did just finish printing. That will give us +1 diplomatic visibility with all of the civilizations in the game, which is +1 combat strength. Also potential Forbidden City here. Now I wonder if I could build a Forbidden City in my capital. Looks like not. Looks like somebody's already built the Forbidden City. We could go for the Patala Palace. We could also go for the Kilwa to take that away from someone else. There are potentially good moves on that. I think I will go ahead and fight for the Kilwa. This tile right there seems totally reasonable. Once we finish the Chancery, we'll overflow into that. We have finished the bank over here in Redstonium, and if we take a look at the city overlap map mode, we can see in fact that we could get a what is that? That's a 6-city entertainment complex, which is roughly, that's like most of my empire. So I'm going to go for that 6-city entertainment complex right there, because we are on the verge of unlocking zoos in the top half of the civic the civic tree. Especially being helped out by the fact that we are just about to use the second charge of Leonardo DiCaprio, getting that +3 culture on workshop. So now if I come in here and I check out Beacon Town, I look at the list of buildings, I scroll my way down to the workshop. This should say +6 culture. It says +3 right now just because the city UI hasn't updated, and there it is, +6 culture per industrial zone. That's like 3 monuments per workshop. That is a huge amount of culture, right? Put into comparison, in order to get the same amount of culture from a theatre square, you would have to get +2 adjacency, a amphitheatre, and a museum. You would need all 3 of those just to get the same amount of culture that I'm getting from building a workshop. That's why Leonardo da Vinci is one of my favorite great scientists. Oh, wow. Even my builders can jump. That's amazing. Boing. Why is that so satisfying? I can't explain it. Let's go ahead and pop down the industrial zone in this city. We'll keep working away. There's not a whole lot of tile improvements that we need to do in the local area. I will be getting this quarry online because it will give adjacency to my industrial zone here. In fact, the adjacency in here is looking really tasty. It will continue to develop as we continue to develop the entire empire, and I'm very happy generally with the way that things are working out for us. So my spy has established his position in Dumfries. We're going to go ahead and do gain sources so that we can operate at 2 levels higher for 24 turns, and then we can get started on siphoning the funds, stealing 1,000 gold every 8 turns. You want to operate at a higher level because basically you just do the basic maths. Let's do the maths here. Let's do the maths. Okay, let me give me 2 minutes. With a 64% chance of succeeding, stealing 1,000 gold, I would have to do that 4 times, okay? Which gives me a 17% chance of succeeding on all 4. Like, there's a 17% chance that I do not fail a sequence of 4 chances at 64%. However, if I go up to 80, 85, or whatever the 90% chance is, and I do it for 3, in the same 24 turns that it would take me to perform 4 actions, I would have a 73% chance of succeeding. So I can have a 17% chance of succeeding on 3 gold steals, or, now you would also have to factor in the fact that the spy is leveling if I'm succeeding, but like just gaining sources is almost always worth it if you have the time and you're going to be able to perform 3 missions, basically, is the point that I'm trying to make there. It is almost unfathomable to me that someone would not make that, like, once you understand the statistics of how that works, of how like stacking like dice rolls together works, increasing your odds on 3 dice is way better than rolling more dice. Way better than rolling 1 more dice. As a city-state emergency, I'm going to go ahead and vote that down 5 times to try and prevent that from going through, because I really would like to avoid a war right now if I could. We have met John Curtain, which is pretty cool, and the city-state emergency did fail. That's awesome. However, the military emergency passed, weird enough. Now, John Curtain is usually a difficult opponent, but he's actually kind of struggling in this particular game. So the commercial hub has been completed over here in Competitor's Village. We'll go ahead and get the market. That'll get us another trade route, which is going to be perfect. And it looks like my amenities have dipped down. I'm wondering if maybe I can buy more luxuries. It does not look like it. It looks like I need to get these entertainment complexes up because my empire is growing rather quickly. We have the campus, we have the industrial zone. The only thing that we're missing in here is the commercial hub. So we'll pop that down to get that gold and those extra trade routes. And the reason that we want those trade routes is because trade routes are empire-wide infrastructure, which means they scale really nicely, but also importantly, for a science victory, you can centralize all of your trade routes into the capital city that's going to be building the spaceport, which means you can build it really quickly because it'll be getting a lot of production from those trade routes. Never ever question me ever again on whether or not I am the rap god of Civilization 6. I'm capable of talking about the game at an incredibly high pace, and I'm able to play the game at a relatively high level while continuously talking about it. All right, we have managed to finish mass production, which means we're going to go ahead into Crown Mesa. Let's see if we can get a little bit of cash, because I don't quite have enough to be able to buy myself the absolute giga shipyard, plus 10 production, plus 1 food, plus 8 gold, and plus 1 production on all the unimproved tiles in the city. Tell me you haven't seen anything as beautiful as that before in your life, and I'll call you a liar. Now, over here, we just finished the entertainment complex. We're going to go ahead and get the arena. The arena will give me another amenity in here. The entertainment complex itself did give me an amenity. The arena will give me plus 2, so that'll be 3 amenities in here, hopefully keeping that happiness of our cities nice and high. In a past life, I was a commentator for horse races. So over here, we have managed to finish the market. We're going to grab the bank in here because we want that gold. That's 13 gold per turn, plus 1 great merchant point. We haven't actually gotten any great merchants this game, but there is some potential in here. We are slowly building up the capability of getting those great merchant points. Maybe you could argue that I should have gone for those a little bit earlier in the game, but hey, that is the way that the cookie crumbles. And let me tell you, my cookie is crumbling right now. Let's go ahead and build a mine right there, and we will build a mine right there. We're continuously trying to get the production in here. We're going to go ahead and gain sources in the city of Edinburgh because, again, statistically, 17% chance of succeeding, 64% in a row, or a 73% chance of succeeding, 95% rolls 3 times in a row. It's just a no-brainer, right? We have finished Renaissance wall technology, and we have researched mercantilism. Mercantilism containing a very nice card called Triangular Trade, as well as a couple of other cool abilities, like being able to build lumber mills on rainforests. More importantly, we did finish the lighthouse over here in Akkad, so we can get ourselves another trade route. I will, of course, be beelining for the shipyard, but I will be purchasing that with gold, and I will use what little faith that I have to get the other traders in my capital, because I'm starting to trade internationally with the goal of building up a giga spaceport city. May as well pop down a few farms where it makes sense. Farms are just easily plonked. Oh, a gentle eruption. That's a little bit unfortunate in the capital. We'll have to go in here and deal with that a little bit. We have some cobblestone generators in this city, and it's luckily enough that we do have a builder nearby to go ahead and start those repairs immediately. We finished the arena in Redstonia, and so it seems totally reasonable to me that we can go for perhaps some science. I'll tell the city, well, I'm kind of at a loss here because I have produced too much stuff too quickly. Let's do like 2 campus research grants in here. That seems totally reasonable. Do I need builders actually? Let's click on a builder. Let's have a look how unimproved my territory is. I think my territory is mostly improved, so I don't really need a builder. The nice thing about the zoo that I'm building in Redstonia is it'll actually get science from these marsh tiles. That's kind of a like extra side adjacency bonus. I think we'll go for the industrial zone here just because I like the culture from it. However, we will be prioritizing getting the enchanting table and the university up because those are worth science yields. A little little bit unfortunate that we didn't find a scientific city-state in this game. We will be buying our shipyards with gold, although in this particular city I think it makes sense to hard build a shipyard because the adjacency on the harbour isn't particularly high and I mostly want the 8 gold from it. So that's what we'll work on. Looking over here at this trade route, we will be trading with the city of We are just looking to trade our little eyes out. Let's hold on to our envoys. Let's keep it on moving. We're going to step here. We'll repair this. Kilba Kisawani is finished. That's +3 envoys, which is fantastic. More importantly, it's about the potential of potentially making use of that later on in the game if we do in fact find some city-states of a scientific persuasion. Now, we could go ahead and grab ourselves an entertainment complex in the city to try and round off the rest of our empire, and I think that would be a reasonable thing to do. If I put the entertainment complex right here, it should hit Desert Temple and Champion City, which are the last 2 cities in my empire that I need to hit with an AoE entertainment complex. So we will be going for that. We have finished the bank and competitors village, and so basically we're done here. Yeah, so wow, we actually kind of finished infrastructure really early this game, so we can start working campus research grants. I'm going to make sure that I set the city on scientific focus so that we continue to pump up the science. Pump it up. Pump up the science. Pump it up. Get that production going. The spy has established, so 84%. So if we compare an 84% and then 90%, we have a 68% chance of succeeding all 3 of these missions compared to what we had before. I think this is just a no-brainer move. I don't think there's a situation in which you don't establish your situation. But none of these things matter to me. I think it would maybe be funnier to ban a building. I think I'll just say, like, build your city centers faster. I don't really care. I would rather get these trade routes. Honestly, yeah, I would rather get the trade routes myself. Okay, yeah, we picked up an extra free trade route, and trade routes sent to me will get +4 gold to the sender, and 100% production towards city center buildings is excellent. We have finished the enchanting table. Let's go ahead and get the university in here. We have finished the market. We'll get the bank, and we will continue to produce production. We have finished the enchanting table. I'm going to go ahead and gold purchase the shipyard. That's a +4 production shipyard with 8 gold on it. That's a very nice shipyard. +1 production on all the coastal tiles as well is pretty good. And it's our second shipyard, which will boost up the steam power. We're also going to come in here and grab ourselves a university because we like the ability to get a ton of science. Unfortunately, we are not scaling very hard on the science because we didn't hit the university guy. We didn't hit Isaac Newton, nor did we hit Hypatia, nor did we hit we haven't quite hit Albert Einstein yet, but I think it's a little bit too early into the game for him to have even appeared. +1 era score from researching a civic from a new era of discovery. We did just get a boost for professional sports, and civil engineering has been completed, allowing us to build farms on grassland and hills. And I think we can also go ahead and go for public works, although we don't really need builders anymore, so we can potentially even just move into something else. I think there is something to be said to take 100% industrial zone adjacency bonuses. However, I think I would prefer to have amenities right now, so I'm not going to change that. The amenities are actually technically better in my opinion, because while this production would be amazing, it doesn't actually get me more science compared to the retainers, at least in my opinion. It would be good to maybe go for engineering invention, but we kind of have to pick and choose our battles very carefully. Maybe harbour adjacency is fine. Maybe we could go for triangular trade. That's a little bit of cash. I think the harbour adjacency is kind of a little bit more unique and a little bit more interesting, especially because it doubles off of Raina's ability. We're going to come in here and grab ourselves urbanization. But actually, we want to go for natural history first because we want to get the zoo. We'll go ahead and grab the arena in the capital. That'll give us another +1 amenity. Did I run out of amenity purchases? I did. Let's go ahead and see if we can sell off some stuff too. We do have a governor title. It could be good to go for tax collector on Raina. It could also be good to put 1 point into Moksha and just put him into a city of Redstonia for a very small amount of passive faith gain, because he gives you the +2 faith per district in the city that he's an established governor in. Right there. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves another trader in the capital. I'll probably just queue up a few traders just to keep the capital busy, honestly, at this point. Nothing else is really necessary for me. Industrialization has been completed. This is giving us access to the factory, which is a nice AoE production building, as well as the Ruhr Valley. I don't know if I'm going to be able to build the Ruhr Valley this game, and we also have access to the coal power plant. The secondary power haste is kind of an interesting building. Based on haste 1, plots near the beacon or industrial zone gain +1 production again, and it gives you +2 culture. Can it be built in the same district as these other things? Okay, cool. We also get access to coal, although technically we already had access to coal, but the most important thing here that we're going to be grabbing is the +1 production to mine improvements, which is goddamn amazing for our empire, because the sheer amount of production, like if we take a look at the city, right, 120 production in our capital, 50 production in Redstonia, 59 production in Boomtown, 97 production in Champion City, 1 turn away from the Oxford University, 63 production in Desert Temple, 40 production in Crown Mesa, 62 production in Competitors Village, 34 production in Akkad, a brand new city that I only just conquered, and haven't even really put any production into. In fact, I should probably get a builder in here to repair some of these tiles. However, that's not important. What is important is that we did just get some new mine tiles, which is fantastic. Now, the most important thing that we're going to be heading towards now is chemistry, and I think in order to head that way, we will be going for economics. I do hope that I can pick up the Big Ben. That would be quite nice. And actually, Petala Palace, if I can still get it, might not be a terrible pickup here. So the reason that Petala Palace might be pretty good is because it'll give you +1 diplomatic policy slot, and +1 diplomatic policy slot is actually quite a powerful bonus. And I'm quite happy to get it, but do I want to build it in this city? I think what I should do is I should come in here, I should open this up, I should put in the card for 15% production towards all wonders, and we will call that the end of the road. Where do I want to build it? Champion City might be a good spot to build it. Let me see. Yeah, there's a good spot over there in the far corner. So we'll build it in Champion City. The Big Ben, I'm not sure where I'll be able to build that, but I will be going for it if I can. I was hoping for Filippo Brunelleschi to appear, but unfortunately I don't think he has in this particular game. Do I want to go for the secondary power haste? I think I do. +2 culture. It's kind of a fun thing. A bunch of extra production. We'll go for secondary power haste in a bunch of my cities. You are mostly looking to trade for gold, so go ahead and trade with Cullen and grab ourselves a little bit of cash. You've already done your establishing, so we can start stealing cash from Edinburgh. Poor little scout in the water, getting absolutely devastated by barbarian boats. We have picked up the Oxford University. That's 20% science in a city and awards to randomly chosen free technologies when completed. Very, very nice. I'm curious to see what random free technologies that we're going to get from this, because this is a beautiful wonder. +20% science is actually so amazing, especially if you can get high amenities in the city. There's a boost for flight. We did get economics for free, and we got sanitation for free, which is massive. That is a huge gigapoggers. Let's go ahead and pick up chemistry now. Replaceable parts into chemistry. That's a nice build. The reason we want to get chemistry is so that we can get the research lab, and the reason that we wanted to get industrialization is so that we could power our cities, because the research lab scales heavily off of power. Now, unlike in most games, I don't know if we want to use coal. So let's have a look at secondary power regeneration. Friendly units near 3 tiles have 50 recovery when restoring health. That just seems kind of insane, to be honest with you. That just seems really, really overpowered, which is kind of fun. It's fun occasionally to have an overpowered save. This isn't meant to be this isn't meant to be showing off. Look how good I am at the game, guys. This is just we're pogging out. We're having a good time, man. We're chilling. So we completed secondary power haste, which does give all of these adjacent tiles a lot of extra production. Let's go ahead and head in here. We would definitely want to get the coal power plant, at least in the cities with really high adjacency on their industrial zones. I would say anything with like 6 and above. Maybe 5 and above is where we want to get coal power plants. Otherwise, we want to go for different ones. Secondary power haste has been completed in here. We definitely want to get factories, mainly for the +1 engineer point per turn. We would like to get a campus in here. We don't have very many particularly good campus locations, and I don't want to kill any of these hills, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on... Oh, God, I don't want to put it there. I'm going to put it here on this maze tile. That's a totally fine decision. I believe we could build a secondary power regeneration if we wanted to get a golden age. It's not bad. It's also not quite as good as going for secondary power haste. It looks like Gilgamesh would like a research alliance. I'm going to go ahead and accept that deal, because that is potentially a lot of science, in particular if I start trading with him from my capital. While we're in a golden age, let's pop in here and grab ourselves a trader in the capital. We're also going to come over here where we just finished some campus research grants, and we're going to go ahead and start building those factories. Again, we want to build factories mainly for the great engineer points. Those passive great engineer points are really going to add up, and actually we did manage to hit Filippo Brunelleschi. That's amazing. We also got Yi Sun Sin, the great admiral, that will give us +1 coal. Instantly create an ironclad and grant 1 coal per level. And the cool thing with this ironclad is we can use it to explore, and we can give it +1 movement and just explore the world for it for a little while. We have finished the university in Crown Mesa. Let us grab the industrial zone. Yep, that seems totally reasonable. And then we'll go for secondary power haste and then the industrial zone. Campus research grants have been completed over here in Competitive Village. I think we'll go for the secondary power this, and then we want to go for the factory again, because we want to keep pumping up those great engineer points. It's really, really important, because we want to get some of those late game great engineers who are incredibly powerful when it comes to some of these things. So for example, Robert Goddard, +20% production towards space race projects, 1,500 production towards space race construction, and Werner von Braun giving 100% production towards space race projects. Some of these guys are really, really powerful when you're going for a science victory, and so that is why we are going for the factories. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to build a coal power plant in every single city. Looks like one of my spies did roll low. I'm going to try and escape in a vehicle. We did escape in the vehicle. 1,200 gold was stolen. We did succeed. He did gain a promotion. He'll have to go back to that city eventually. But now is not the time. So taking a look at Beacon Town, we're going to go ahead and trade internationally. In fact, we're going to be looking for science. So we're going to be primarily trading with Sumeria here. And we would really like now, once we have the Petala Palace... Ooh, Champion City, you were actually meant to be building the Petala Palace. Ah, somebody took the Patala Palace. Well, why don't you build me the Big Ben instead? So I'll put a Big Ben on that pasture right there. I may as well finish that factory. There's potential production available there. And we'll get Filippo Brunelleschi over there to see if we can finish that Big Ben nice and quickly. Let's go ahead and get the coal power plant in the capital city. Remember, that coal power plant is worth 10 production, potentially 20 production when we start getting the adjacency bonus on our industrial zones. For now, though, I will keep skyscrapers plugged in because it's nice, but it is getting to the point now where we might plug in different cards. Renaissance era ends in 10 turns. Let's have a look. We did just get replaceable parks, which gives us better adjacency on our farms. Now our farms will get +1 food from every adjacent farm instead of +1 food from having 2 adjacent farms. Also, our pasture improvements will receive +1 production, and we get access to the food market. We're not really going to be making much use of the food market, nor are we going to be making use of the infantry. However, this is the final prerequisite technology that you need in order to get the research lab. There is a potential here for us to get a golden age. Let me have a little look. If I go for secondary power regeneration, and if I had built a smoker, I could get 8. Let's build a secondary power regeneration. That'll be worth 4 era score. We could potentially use gold to recruit some city-states. Trying to think of how we could get more era score. Let's have a look at the era tracker. Well, we could finish chemistry and buy a research lab. That would give us some era score. No, that only works for encampments and aerodromes and entertainment complexes. What we could do is reset a beacon. We could reset some beacons. I'm going to reset some beacons with the goal of building some of the special powers that I haven't built yet. This civ is like amazingly overpowered when it comes to era score, in my opinion. So we're going to build... We have built haste and we have built jump boost. I'm going to build strength over here. And then I will build speed over here. And then that should be my era score secured. Let's go ahead and immediately go for conservation. There's 3 envoys sitting there. Then we'll go, well, we don't need conservation to go for ideology. And we definitely want to go ideology into communism for that 10% science gain. Although, arguably, I do think that democracy might actually be slightly better. Let's come in here. We're going to go ahead and change our government here. We definitely want the craftsman card to plug in. I think it's better than retainers right now. Skyscrapers is amazing, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to pull that out for... There was something I wanted to plug in. Sorry, Visabanken will be replacing Merchant Confederation, and I think that's a slightly better government setup. Because now when I come in here and I look at some of these districts, like the blast furnaces were 22 production, we're up to 133 production in the capital, which is insane, genuinely insane. 10 production coal power plant, that's amazing. Let's go for the haste. We could actually use a sewer in this city because it's at 12 out of 11 housing. My spy has made it home. I'm going to go ahead and tell him to take the siphon funds ability, meaning he'll be able to siphon funds a lot better. Let's make sure... Oh, we could get a Ruhr Valley in here. Let's make sure we get that Big Ben real quick. I will boom Filippo in there. That'll take 3 turns off this. I mean, if we could get Big Ben plus Ruhr in this city, it would be literally unbelievable. Like, champion city would actually be a champion. Okay, so the first time we've consumed that resource, that's excellent. Golden Age secured. We built a whole bunch of things. Let's go ahead and reset these beacons again. We don't actually care about whatever we were doing in there. We'll go ahead and recruit that great merchant. We'll grab ourselves a university because that's worth 4 science per turn. We have a coal power plant in the capital. Let's grab ourselves the zoo. You'll escape by vehicle. You did manage to escape. You also stole this and you got to level up. Good job. You'll be back in the capital. I'm going to go ahead and send this spy back to Dumfries. Oh, actually Edinburgh is now the biggest money spot. So go back to Edinburgh for me. Now, Jo Dagoon, I think it would be good to get control of Bandar Brunei. We're also going to go ahead and feed Filippo back into the Big Ben. I think we have successfully explored the world, which is kind of a fun proposition. A major flood inside someone else's territory, I assume, because I have built dams everywhere that flooding is possible. Go ahead and build that haste, build that haste. You are continuing to explore, as are you, good sir. Filippo, go ahead and finish that. So Big Ben in 2 turns, which will be +1 economic policy card. I'm going to put all my traders into my capital city because I want to be able to trade with my allies from my capital city. It's the most important thing. I don't care about this trade deal. Get the hell out of my face. Nice, +4 era score. Not that we needed it. We have also finished the zoo in the capital, which is giving us a huge amount of amenities. Let's go back to the trade deals. There's a bunch of amenities that I need to buy from other players that'll pump us up, and I will sell off my own luxuries. I'll sell off my iron, I'll sell off my horses. I am starting to lose coal, which is not ideal. Let me have a quick look at the coal map mode. Yeah, there is some coal just outside of this village, so let me go ahead and grab it. I will also buy myself a builder to get that done ASAP. Let's grab the zoo. Primary power haste, let's grab that factory. Grab that factory. Secondary power, good job. Why don't you go ahead and build your aqueduct and your industrial zone, and you keep exploring. We have found the other side of the continent. We have circumnavigated the globe. Probably a little bit early into the game to be doing that, but who cares? Let's continue to trade with Uruk. It's worth 3 science for us, which is fantastic. And we will use you in Bandar Brunei to hopefully get suzerainty, and we're going to yoink the suzerainty of Bandar Brunei, getting us +1 gold to trade routes passing through or going to the city with trade posts. Mega colossal eruption right on my borders. Big Ben has given us +1 economic policy card. We've also finished the Enlightenment. That's fantastic. None of that is super important except for plugging in the new card. And I think the new card to plug in is liberalism for that +8 amenities. That'll help push us back up into happiness. Now we're getting a 10% boost to all of our yields. Go ahead and build those traders for me. Keep filling that out. What have you got over here? You got the Big Ben. I think we go for the Ruhr Valley in here. It seems natural. It's a 10-turn build. 10 turns is a totally reasonable amount of time to spend on this. You're going to go ahead and take a level up. I don't think Linguist is good for a gold stealer, so I will go for Technologist. Being able to steal technology is generally useful, not particularly useful when you're in a science game and you're winning. Which I am, by the way. I'm up to 226 science. I'm now top science in the game. And I have now researched the most technologies in the game, just barely squeaking ahead of Sumeria at 41, which puts me in a very nice position. That Oxford University really paying off. Out of curiosity, in the Oxford University city, champion city, that's a nice 24 science per turn. Not comparable to the capital. I would have been much happier if I had been able to build that in this capital city. But hey, look, that is the way that the cookie crumbles, and the cookie crumbles away. I think doing a pair of campus research projects in the capital is totally fine. We're going to go for the factory, mainly for the great engineer point over here in this city, and we are continuing to explore. Whose terrain is this? Is this Arabia? Yeah, it's Australia. Let's go ahead and talk to Australia. I'll say, hey, g'day, mate. Gives you open borders. Throw a shrimp on that Barbie for me there, chap. And we shall continue to explore. Right, +8 envoys. Oh, man. Immediately going to 6 envoys in Mexico City. Your regional effects of your industrial zone, water park, and entertainment districts reach 3 tiles farther. Bro, actually goated ability actually means that my entire empire is hit by a single power plant, which is goated. I don't want to delete you. I'm going to go ahead and send you. I think I sent the other guy to Edinburgh. I'm going to send you to Dumfries because Dumfries is still one of the best cities to steal from. So go ahead to Dumfries, steal their money. Go ahead and steal their pocket money. And I tell you what, with 3 turns left on the Renaissance era and 1 turn left from picking up the research labs, I'm going to call that the end of this episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!